Hello Violas and welcome back to the virtual Benedetti sessions. My name is Jenny and I am your advanced viola tutor, and this is your second tutorial on the Vaughan-Williams Fantasia on a theme of Thomas Tallis. Now in this video it's going to just build up a little bit on what we spoke about in the Zoom sectional on Wednesday, but for those of you who weren't there, don't worry about it, it's covering a lot of the same stuff and also introducing a few new ideas, so hopefully they will complement each other well whether you were there or not. So yes, I would just like to start with talking about sound. As Corinna has told you and as Nikki has also said in all of their wonderful introduction videos, this piece is all about the sound and the variety of sound, the colours that we can find with our instruments. And I would just like to reinforce that really by showing you and talking to you about the techniques, the physical ways that we can achieve those things. So first of all, just starting really simply, let's just play together a scale. Perhaps it's just an upward scale, D major, 1 octave. And we're going to start with a really light floaty bow, and as it goes up, we're going to grade it and change it into a really rich, sonorous sound. So follow me if you like. 2, Right, so I don't know whether you were just watching that or whether you joined in. If you joined in, thank you. I didn't feel so alone. And if you were just watching, perhaps you would have noticed as it got louder, my bow speed slowed down. I was consciously tilting my bow hairs more so to use more hair on the string. You'll also maybe have noticed that I was doing my breathing before the bow change thingamajig, which really helps make a really lovely lubricated feeling at the tips and at the frogs of our bows. So now we've got that sort of feeling in our bodies, let's just look again at the very opening. So I'm going to play the top line. I would just like to quickly cover some technical stuff about string crossings. So what I like to do is to find the double stop between two notes whenever I have a string crossing, and just play those two notes at the same time. Those are the first two notes of the piece. It starts on an up bow actually. And then looking at the angle of our bows on that up bow, just see how close you can get from the G to the D string without actually playing the D string. So up bows on our G string, third finger on that D, and now watch your angle and just grade how unbelievably close you can get without actually playing it, and then just change the angle so that it just catches and then you're double stopping. Let's try that together. So on the up bow, 2, now change the angle. Nice. It's a really also important one just to think about the angle that our arm has to be at. If we're on the C string, the G, the D or the A. I'm going from a G string angle to a D string angle, but that doesn't have to be a dum dum, it could be a, that's the idea anyway. Great. For the lower line, I actually thought of a better fingering. If we just go 1 and then 2, 3, 4. So we're using that semitone to sort of sneak up there. Now, with these pizzicatos, they need to be really at the back of the beat. There's a real temptation with pizzas to move them forward and rush them. And that's just because they speak so much more quickly than we're used to with our bows and the speed of sound production with the hair of the bow rather than the kind of percussiveness of a finger on a string. So let's just really sit back in our chairs and kind of recommend making old man sad faces. Very helpful. Great. I spoke in the last video about just using our bow speed for the hairpins here. That still applies. But now I would love to just move on and talk about our gorgeous tune after A that we share with the cellos. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth bar of A. Shall we just play this together? This is going to be a kind of play along video, as we like. So let's play it together. 1, 2. Cool. So that is just one of my favourite things to play. We just get to join in the cello's sonority and everyone is just resonating together. And when we play this in our own homes with our headphones on and just looking at Corinna up close on our computers, we have to totally imagine that we are in a huge section. We can hear the sonorities around us just kind of carrying us forwards on this extraordinary sort of river of sound. Swell of sound. And in terms of technically how we make this lovely viola-tastic resonance, we want to use a lot of bow. We want to have a really warm and loose vibrato. So a really nice exercise for warm and loose vibrato, actually. Let's put our viola on our laps for a sec. Let's just wobble our wrists and our faces for a second. Really feel how floppy and wobbly our wrists can be. And you can even take hold of with your right hand, take hold of your left arm and just give it a little shake and a wobble and make sure that there's really no tension in there at all. Now you can sort of take that arm off if you like and just sort of feel the natural gravity in your hand when you just give it a little wobble. And it's a really lovely kind of slightly strange floppy feeling. And I love that. And like I can just see that my thumb and my first fingers are kind of knocking together and they're all super loose. This is the feeling we want for a lovely, slow and warm vibrating sound. Actually, I happen to know that Nikki's done amazing how to vibrate videos on her Learn with Nikki YouTube videos. I would very much recommend you looking at her vibrato ones because they apply to the viola just as much as the violin. So once you've done all of those and you're back here with me, let's, for example, just choose a note. Let's say a first finger on the C string. We want to just harness that wobble that we felt naturally in our hands, bringing our elbows nice and round so that we can support our instrument and really just feel that like flow and wobble. No tension with our thumbs. I should turn this way. Make sure that there's no clamping at all. There just has to be a lovely looseness and everything is totally free. Great, so this is a really flabby one. Think about the oscillations going both beneath and above the note. That's a really nice way of having an all-round floppy vibrato. Always supporting as well, always supporting from bringing your elbow around so that there's no clamping. Now, if at any point anything feels uncomfortable or strange, do not carry on. Just give it a rest, put your viola down, stop, breathe. If you have a question, I will always say this, ask your teachers. If you're lucky enough to have an instrumental teacher, go and talk to them about vibrato and how they can help you. So back to this tune. There's something really amazingly upwards and inhalation-y about that up bow. So let's actually make sure we have nice deflated lungs and then let's breathe in together. 1, 2. 3. Now, do you notice the speed of my bow changes on the bow changes? It almost almost slows down just to accommodate the kind of syrupiness of this music. I would recommend you guys try that too, because it kind of lends itself so well to the sonority of this stuff. Now when we get to the 6/8, that sostenuto after B, 1, 2, 3, 4 after B, we have to be a little bit more in the string, and you can see those tenuto lines, the lines over the notes, which means a little longer, a little more held. So, 1. Open strings, that reminds me. Let's not be afraid of our open strings in this music, as long as we've tuned them really well. I think there's something extraordinarily powerful about the kind of primalness of our open strings. And with this music in particular, because it's a chant, it's sort of an ancient chorale, as it were, we can totally enjoy those open strings and just get really into the string, draw it out. Have you ever heard like gambas play or something? That extraordinary kind of vocal, like, tenseness that you get with a string speaking its open strings slowly and painfully. I just love it. Great. So while we're in this kind of frame of mind, it's a similar sound that we actually want to this solo that we thankfully get to play after all, letter U. In my last video, I incorrectly said that we were not going to be doing this solo, we would just be doing the tremolos. In fact, that's changed, and we now are just doing the solos and not the tremolos. So now it's clear, I hope. So let's just have a quick look at this. This music that we play after U, it's really meant to be a solo, so in reality we wouldn't all be playing it together as a section. But what the cool thing is it means that you get to play pretty much as a soloist with Nikki, which is so cool. She's going to be playing this soaring bird part above us, and we are maybe like the currents of wind that just support her wings as she goes, or perhaps we're another bird in our own right. I'm not quite sure, to be honest. But all I know is that we have to make a beautiful sound and totally support the upper voice. So whilst also kind of maintaining our own artistic integrity and doing what we want, and just it's this constant kind of dialogue, isn't it, between providing a supporting line and having your own voice beautifully spoken. That's like my favourite thing about being a viola player. Our role like that is just amazing. Let's just play together. From the third bar of U, I will count to 3. 1, 2, 3, 1. I made a little mistake with the bowing there, but I mean, whatever's in your parts, this is totally ad libitum, i.e. you can do whatever you like, whatever's the most comfortable. I think just whatever makes you feel free. So apologies for that, but whatever you like goes in this bit. So I hope you all felt as you were playing that a kind of breadth and a sort of swoop, as if our wings were just open and we were gliding. I don't want any tension really at all in our bodies, apart from that which balances us out. So obviously for lightness, we do need support of the lightness, and for strength, a core support, like our tummy muscles are supporting, we're sitting well in our chairs, our legs muscles are activated, we're really sitting well on our sitting bones, or standing. If you're standing, then no tensing of the bum. That's what I do all the time when I stand. Really standing shoulder width apart, just having that kind of core strength, which means that we can then float and do exactly as we need to do. So quickly looking at bow distribution, I slightly screwed it up then, I don't know if you noticed, sorry guys. We just want to have enough space in our bows that we can really kind of creep in and still negotiate that smooth string crossing with enough bow, not that it feels like or anything like pressed or too disjunct. So really lovely, give yourself lots of chance. So more bow than less here, I would say. 1, 2. So that is a very long down bow. If we're doing that all in one bow, but it has this fabulous, like, searing quality if we do it all in one bow. So I would love that. So down. Now we use a lot of bow here for these 3. And we just let the sound disappear. Now there's a kind of second phrase here. Lots of bow. Lots of bow. Oh, I got upside down somehow. God, there's no right bowing, it feels like. It could just be a million things. But the important thing is, I hope as you could see, to really be thinking about our bow distributions with the phrasing that we want. These decisions should all be led by the sound, which is, as we started this video, the most crucial thing. So use your ears, have a strong imagination for the kind of sound you want, listen to those recordings, use the Play Along With Us videos, and just experiment. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye.